Hey guys, I just wanted to start off with a couple of plugs. The first one is that Monday, May 4th, is going to be the staff parade starting at Anthony at noon. I don't think the weather is supposed to be very nice, but come outside and wave and say hello. And then the second plug I have is for Anthony Spirit Week. So Monday's optional because there's no school. But take a look at these dress up days. And by going to your advisory Google Classroom, you can submit a picture of yourself dressed up. And then a winner will be selected, and Miss Vu is going to have restaurant food of their choice delivered to their house. So definitely submit yourself participating in our virtual Spirit Week. Now, onto language and literature. Hi, guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the story, The Most Dangerous Game. We are going to first go back to our friend Wikipedia so that we can summarize what happened in the end of the story. So we talked last time about how Rainsford fell off the ship, ended up on this island. It was kind of like a jungle, and he stumbled upon this chateau or castle. And he was talking to Zaroff, who was telling him all about his experiences in hunting and how he is such an amazing big game hunter, and he has this island because it allows him to do hunting like he's never been able to do before. And he said he invented a new kind of hunting. So that's where we left off. In this section was the big reveal as to what Zaroff was actually hunting. So let's go over to Wikipedia and see what it tells us. So last time, Rainsford realized that that Zaroff was hunting sailors, right? He was hunting men that he trapped on the island. So realizing he had no way out, Rainsford agrees to hunt with him, but slowly realizes that he's the one who's going to be hunted. Zaroff is so excited because he knows that Rainsford is an excellent hunter, so he thinks that this is going to be the best challenge of his life. So it says during his head start, after Rainsford has like run out onto the island because he gets a couple hours head start, Rainsford lays an intricate trail in the forest and then climbs a tree. Zaroff finds him easily, but decides to play with him like a cat would a mouse, standing under the tree Rainsford is hiding in, smoking a cigarette, and then quickly leaving. After the failed attempt at hiding from Zaroff, Rainsford builds a Malay man catcher, which is a weighted log attached to a trigger. This contraption injures Zaroff's shoulder, causing him to return home for the night. But he shouts his respect for the trap before leaving. The next day, Rainsford creates a Burmese tiger pit, which kills one of Zaroff's dogs. He sacrifices his knife and ties it to a sapling to make another trap, which then kills Ivan when he stumbles into it. To escape Zaroff and his approaching hounds, Rainsford dives off a cliff into the sea. Zaroff is disappointed because he thinks that Rainsford has tried to leave the island and swim away, which means he will surely die. So Zaroff returns home. He smokes a pipe by his fireplace, but two issues keep him from peace of mind. The first is the difficulty at replacing Ivan, and the second is the uncertainty of whether Rainsford actually died at sea. Zaroff locks himself in his bedroom and turns on the lights, only to find Rainsford waiting for him. He had swum around the island in order to sneak into the chateau without the dogs finding him. Zaroff congratulates him on winning the game, but Rainsford decides to fight him, saying he is still a beast at bay. That means he still feels like a cornered animal, and that the original hunt is not over. Accepting the challenge, Zaroff says that the loser will be fed to the dogs and the winner will sleep in his bed. The story ends with Rainsford enjoying the comfort of Zaroff's bed. So our inference we make at the end is what? Rainsford wins, right? So he won, he slept in the bed, and that's the end of the story. We do not know what happens next. So this week, I'm asking you to do two tasks. The first one is a quiz. It's an 8-question quiz. You can absolutely use your story. I just want to make sure to see which things seemed confusing in the story and which things we understood. So first, find this quiz for you to take. And then the second thing that you are going to do this week is write a sequel to the story. If you would like help with the quiz, you have two options. One is that you can come to office hours on Tuesday at 10:30 with Miss McGeehee and I, and we will work through the quiz with you. Okay, the link is always posted above on our eSchool site, on our class website. So you can come to office hours and we will help you with the quiz. You can also listen to the quiz being read aloud by Miss McGeehee if you would like as well. Same thing, the link is posted on our eSchool website, on our classroom website, okay? A sequel means what happened next in the story. So like what would be the next chapter? So it says, write a sequel to The Most Dangerous Game. What do you think happens next? You must include. So the first thing you need to include is one element of suspense. You're going to highlight it a certain color, and then in parentheses next to it, you'll say which element it is. Remember that you have your elements of suspense notes in Google Classroom as well. And then here's an example that I did in my story. So I said it was a dark and stormy night on Ship Trap Island. That would be setting. Or Rainsford was sitting alone on the rocky edge of the shore. That shows isolation because he's by himself. So pick one of the elements of suspense and include that in your story. You're going to add at least one vocabulary word that we've covered with Miss McGeehee. You will make the word bold in your story. So your options are hunt, game, instinct, reason, stake, or stamina. Okay, the purpose of this is to use the word correctly. So go back to your notes and make sure that you check the examples to make sure you're using it with the correct part of speech, etc. And then if you want to go above and beyond, it says write from a specific point of view. Again, you can review your notes on Google Classroom. This is the quiz that we took based on the Finding Nemo notes. So you have first person, third person objective, omniscient, or limited. And so you can choose one, write which one you've chosen, and then use that for your whole story as well. Again, that's to go above and beyond. The rest is up to you. Okay, so you can choose the time. Some people start immediately after the first story ended. Some people like to write a story from a couple of years later, maybe 20 years later. Okay, so that part's up to you. The location is up to you. If you want it to take place on Ship Trap Island, that's fine. If you want it to take place somewhere else, that's fine. Okay. The events are up to you. Get creative. Did Zaroff really die? Does Rainsford leave the island? Does he decide to stay? Does Mr. Whitney come back? What happens with the dogs, etc. Okay, so you can decide what events you want to happen, and you'll just type it in here and then submit it onto Google Classroom. All right, so that's your job for this week, the quiz and the sequel. As always, please email me with any questions. This last week, I've been setting up Zoom calls with students to make sure to clarify anything, and I can do that for you too. Okay, also, just because some students have been asking, here's a picture of my new puppy that I was talking about before we went into quarantine. So I'll continue to post some pictures and maybe some videos with her as well. Her name is Dottie. Come to office hours anytime and tell me what's new with you. Shoot me an email. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Have a great week. Bye.